Here we are. Can y'all hear me real good or no? Am I still low?
No, that sounds all right.
It's all right. You're a little low.
Let me see. I'll try to give it a little bit more volume there.
Nope, that got worse.
There we go. Oh, how about that?
Keep going.
It's as far as I can go. Man,
that's what it is.
Man, that's crazy. I don't know. Well, we're back in here. I'll move it a little closer. I don't know if that's better or not.
I heard a soda can from somewhere.
Let's see here. Guys, what is going on, man? How are y'all doing?
Good.
I'm doing good.
All right. Let's see here. Dude, happy Thursday, man. We made it to another Thursday. Let's see.
Yes,
we made it. Actually, not only did we make it to another Thursday, we are in a whole nother month, man. I am so glad to be into April. Dude, this is good. So, 2 days in, man. So, happy belated April Fools to you guys. Dude, what's new? What's going on? Let's see here. We got Heck Speed over there. We've got Tim over there, and we've got Jeremy Stoll. Guys, what is new with you? Jeremy, what are you working on over there?
I'm working on a 2-meter Viper jet.
It's a secret F-16. Don't let them lie to you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, if we're playing April Fool's stuff.
Oh, that's what you're supposed to say. Jeez.
It is a thing.
It looks like it's a Viper type thing, if I'm not mistaken.
It sure is a Viper.
Color. Dude, the blue and those colors there, man, they definitely pop. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so what we're doing is I'm just doing a fairly simple, just quick install of the surfaces, and then I'll join the fuselage together just so you guys can see it together.
Nice.
But this is our Pilot RC 2-meter Viper jet. So.
Dude,
and what size motor? I would assume like an 86, 100.
120?
40? It might be getting a 130.
Boom.
Okay. Now we're cooking, man. A little extra push for that thing, dude. I don't
know.
Now,
why? Only because I've got an 86 and a 130.
Oh, are you sticking an N-jet in it?
Yeah, we've got 2 N-jets to play with. So,
man,
we will see how that goes. But I have a Sweet 180 right there. But
it looks like N-jet is starting to take over, the market, man. It's filling out a lot of gaps that people, when the Freewing thing happened and King Tech thing happened, it seems like N-jet slid right in there, right on time. I mean, man, what is your experience, Tim, with the N-jets so far?
Well, I've got 3 so far, and there's another brand that I've been purchasing, and they've been burning up in like under 2 hours, having all 3 seized up. So I got pretty ticked off and got some N-jets, and they have been absolutely flawless so far.
Man, yeah. I remember you talking about some of those issues that you were running in. These are brand new turbines too that were seizing up on you mid-flight, man. Is not good. So I tell you, that's good to know that there is another brand out there. Heck Speed, what have you been up to, man? Have you had any experience with N-jets or anything, or what's your go-to turbine?
Only turbines I've used so far are King Techs and Swillins, and/or CRX, which is a Swillin. So far, I've had pretty good luck with both those brands. I did have some issues with my King Tech G5, but that was mostly a user error problem. I had the wrong setting for the startup sequence on it. So I had the kerosene selection made, and I'm using diesel. So I was having problems with starting, and I didn't realize that was a thing. And then I was looking for the menu, and I stumbled across that. Then after that, changed over to diesel for the start, and it was fine after that. So
was that actually in the owner's manual? Because I heard
I heard it is. I guess I overlooked it because I didn't notice that part in it. So
yeah,
you weren't the only one complaining about it. There was a lot of people that were having issues with the G5s, and I think you were the first person that brought it to light that there was a setting for that, and then everybody started going into their menu and their GSU or ECU, whatever you call it, and that's where they were finding it.
They said it was in the manual, and I swear I looked, but like I said, I could have just overlooked it or been looking in the wrong spot or something like that. So.
Man.
But I got it figured out, and it was fine after that. So.
And it started up and ran good and everything. That's pretty
Yeah.
good then.
That was on
Yeah.
your MB. You were having flame out issues, weren't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I was
Flaming.
having startup flames. So
PPD1 said confirmed. It is in the manual. Just read it recently. So boom, there you go. William Lane says who services the injet turbines?
Right now, that's being done in California. So it is in the U.S. And there is a couple guys that went over to China or wherever and got the train. Taiwan got the training. China, I believe it is.
yeah, one of those is my friend Leo.
Okay.
Leo.
Got you.
Second question is how's the survivability of injet? In other words, how overall, like what's the how long will it be?
I mean, it's a new engine, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
so long story short, we have, I can give you my short term. I've got one injet that's probably got, I'd have to check, but I guarantee it's over 10 hours, probably going on 12. And then I got two others that are probably somewhere in the 2 hour mark. So, I can't really speculate on that. As far as my other problems with the other brand, and I'm not going to say the brand, but it's a well-known brand. And, I was just fed up. So, having motor after motor all bought in 2025, they were all bought in 2025. And every single one of them with less than 2 hours on them seized completely up and had to go back. So I just made a change. So long story short, guys, I mean, that's a hard answer to answer right now because they just haven't been on the market long enough to see, hey, are they going to make it to the 25-hour service life that they say you need to send it in? I'm going to say they are, but again, I've got one with somewhere between 10 and 12 hours, and it's been flawless so far. The other two, again, have been flawless so far. So, time will tell, but I'm slowly but surely switching over to the injet motors for two reasons. One, service, being in the U.S., and, all three of my other motors went overseas. So, in tariffs to get them back. So, again, I can't really speculate too much, but so far, so good. Obviously, and probably the end of this year, that would be more of a question that I could answer. Hey, I made it to 25 hours on this one motor. The other two motors, I don't think I'll make to 25 hours this year. But, that will be the telltale sign whether or not these motors are going to hold up. But so far, I've mentioned it. I am so impressed with the lag. It is almost instantaneous compared to my Schwewens and my King Techs and the other turbines that I have ran. I mean, it has a mode where you can put it in normal, fast, super fast, and there's one other one. It's under normal, but I've run mine on super fast on one jet, and it's almost as quick as you move the stick is the throttle response. So it's pretty darn good for as far as I'm concerned.
Which makes me wonder, man, how in the heck can they make it so quick? I know fuel, air ratios, and everything like that, but it's pretty interesting, though, to think that we're now at the point where turbo lag is almost a thing of the past. You know what I mean? Like with your EDFs, you almost have instantaneous power. So, which, like I know, that ends up saving your airplanes because so many times, where you're trying to, you may have to go around or something like that, and you having that power alone will save your plane. So the injet seems to be well worth it. So that's a good thing, man. Appreciate that, Tim, about the injets. That's a nice little plug there. So I like that. Let's check this out. Gary Russell says just got 2 of the K8s, one for me and one for the wife, and he loves them. So I talked to RC Pilot Will earlier this week, and he actually flew his, and he loves it. He said it flew absolutely amazing. So good job, Jeremy, on the K8 and the power plant that one has, because it seems like you guys have a total winner. So let's take a look here. Let's jump back into some of the comments. I was trying to catch up. Bill Wagner, what's going on? He says, I'm setting up my Injet 86 right now. Have 10 hours on my Zycoi 45, 0 issues. I've seen personally issues with the K brand turbine, and I'll say it, King Tech. The King Tech turbine. I have plenty of King Techs. Yeah. So, it is what it is. One of those things where you'll run into some issues. So West Hobby says, been running King Tech engines for years, love them. Just ordered 2 more K80 G5. So there you go. Very nice, very nice. Let's see here. Jumping in, let's see. Don Henry said, hey Bobby, check out FNRC on YouTube. Yeah, man, I have that channel. I'm a member of that. The only thing about the FNRC guy, man, he is the one that leaks airplanes like crazy. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's sad.
It's not helpful at all.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So it's helpful if you're looking at older models that you may have missed and you didn't know anything about. And then you see them and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that airplane. That is a good one. But for the new models that he's leaking, it isn't really helpful. I saw that there's a Viper, not a Viper, SU-57 on there, twin 70 millimeter, that I saw that was leaked out on there too. But we already dropped that on the channel as well. So we knew about that, 2-3 weeks, almost 2 months ago. So when we were talking about it. So let's see here. William Lane says, how fast is the startup time on the Injet?
It's probably comparable to the King Tech G4s, G4 Pluses, maybe a tad slower. My Schwinn, I have one Schwinn left, and it's the slowest out of all, and it's a 190 Schwinn, and that thing takes forever to wind up. But the Injet's probably pretty comparable, maybe 10 or 15 seconds.
You gotta adjust your ramp up.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't mess with parameters too much unless I talk to the manufacturer and they tell me to.
That's the smartest
you can
thing
adjust your ramp up on that one.
Hey,
the whole startup thing is kind of funny because I had one G5 and they're known for being super fast starting, and honestly, I didn't like it. I know it sounds weird, but
fast.
I found that it didn't leave you much time at all to abort a start if it started to go bad. And having the wrong settings in it will do that, more times than not. So, you take the risk of burning your airplane down if you can't catch a bad start in time. And with a slow, normal start, I mean, it's really easy to tell if the motor's not starting properly. And so you can abort the start, and it's not a huge deal, and you can let it cool off and try again. To me, the starting, okay, so you save yourself 20 seconds of your life waiting for an engine to start. Like, it's not that big of a deal, and I would prefer the safety margin of a slow start over a really fast start pretty much any day of the week.
There's a lot to be said for that. That is a very valid point, and that is something to think about too. It's funny you say that because that's how I knew something was going on with one of my turbines when the bearings were going bad. Is I actually on startup I could hear it, but once it was under running and running in full mode, I couldn't hear it. And so you're absolutely right. So there are things that have a lot to do with that. So no, that's a very valid
and the
point.
extra fuel line that you got to run for it. I mean, you got a small plane with not a lot of room.
Yeah.
Those G5s are nice, but like Brent said, you could lose a plane because it starts up so fast, or like you said, you're not going to hear a bearing issue on a fast startup plane. But that's the biggest thing I've seen with G5s, people trying to throw them into small airframes, and dude, they just don't. It's just not enough room.
Yeah.
I feel like people get caught up in like having to have the latest and greatest. And honestly, that's sort of what got me into a G5 versus a G4, because they were still selling both versions when I bought my 105 G5 or my 102 G5. And honestly, after buying the G5, I wish I just would have gone with a G4. But after I got the starting issues figured out, it really wasn't a big deal. But I still prefer the slower starts. So that's just me.
Well, we're going to move on to the next topic right here. Guys, hey, don't ruin it. Check this out. Hey, look, so there is another look. They're introducing the E-Flight Tri-Ember. How about that? Y'all like that? The Tri-Ember. So that's pretty cool, right? Right when you thought 2 was enough, they go and they put 3 on there, right? So but that's a little delayed, April Fool's joke right there. So, but yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I saw that and I was like, how many people believe that? Because probably E-Flight would do something like that. I don't doubt it, especially with the timber. So, little funny, haha, right there. So I thought I'd share that with you guys there, but that was pretty funny. I saw that. I was like, man, what in the heck is that? I thought that was crazy. So, yeah, that was introducing the E-flite tri-timber. So, I mean, why not, you know? But let's see here. I'm going to jump onto my page there and see because it looks like the Freewing F-22 V2 90mm is on there. So we'll go to there and take a look at that right there. Once we get past this, man, you know what? I really need to redo my my YouTube so where I don't have to see any ads because sometimes when I'm trying to show you guys this, I don't want to see that. All right, here we go. So I'm going to show you guys this bird real quick. I'm going to share my screen. This is the new Freewing 90mm F-22. This is the one that's going to go into production. So let's take a look at it, and we'll see exactly what you guys think of this EDF bird. Let's take a gander, shall we? And boom, here we go. We'll make it big and roll.
Today I'm unboxing this Freewing 90mm F-22 V2 version. This plane has beautiful formation lights. There are lights on the nose,
cool.
the wings,
not even
and
him
vertical
speaking.
stabilizers.
I know.
Plus, the wings have red and green LED navigation lights, which look absolutely stunning.
I mean,
hey, they didn't make them blue.
The front landing gear is also more realistic, and it features 2 LED lights, giving the whole aircraft a completely different look.
It's actually spearmint lights, huh?
These formation lights are gorgeous. Today, I'll be doing an unboxing and sharing its flight footage.
They're not blue.
Better translated than the last video I saw.
Hello everyone. Today I'm unboxing the latest revised Freewing 90mm.
Wait a minute. Look, they put the V2
He
sticker
already
on
said
there.
that.
You see the V2 sticker? I see what you did.
Yeah, they had a bunch of regular boxes left over. You know, we can just slap a sticker on that.
See what you did here, boys. All right,
F-22 V2 version.
Let's see here.
Anything to say
Here's
about
the V2. Has been updated to quick release.
I don't know about you guys, but I do not like unboxings.
It also has the red left and green right LED lights.
I don't like
and the
them
same
either, but I've
quick
got to
release
do them.
connector.
Yeah, you have to do them.
Quick
If
release.
it's something like super new that no one's seen before, it's
This plane uses a
cool,
quick
but
release rail system, which is very convenient.
I never watch unboxing videos.
Planes these days are getting better and better.
As long as you don't slap it down
And
the
this
table.
is the carbon spar for the
Oh, I
main
hate
wing.
that guy. God, I hate that guy.
Man, look at that beautiful airplane in the background.
Now let's look at the vertical
nice.
stabilizer.
Red.
It also has formation lights.
Comes
Comes with formation
I can't
lights.
watch this whole thing.
Brakes, you won't be able to remove it, and the quick
That's
release
same
wing
thing.
is.
Let's just get to the good stuff right here. Okay,
Once
here we go.
powered, we can
Did
see
they
the
fix
beautiful four.
the knuckles that tilt on the... Or do they still do that?
Mashing.
I don't know.
Lights.
It does look good with the lights. So, very nice.
I used to put those
Alright,
on
the
my
formation
Raptor.
lights are now illuminated. The vertical stabilizers have formation lights, the wings have formation lights, plus left red and right green.
We heard you the first time, buddy. Alright, nice. Okay. Alright, okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Motion released a new airplane today, actually.
They did. Alright, so guys, y'all see the Freewing 90mm F-22? So that was that. So, yeah, man, that was... What do you guys think about that one so far? The V2, it's got the nice lights on there. I mean, you know, what's your thoughts on there?
I'm the wrong guy to ask about F-22s.
Yeah, that's right. You don't like the F-22s, and that's okay. This is
I'm the wrong guy to ask about another company.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Tim, what do you think?
Tim, what do you think? How about that? Tim's like, I
Tim
don't
doesn't
even
like
care.
anything but
Tim's like, I don't even care about like that kind of stuff.
I mean, I still have a Freewing F-22, you know, version 190, and I mean, I occasionally pull it out and fly because it's just a hoot to fly.
It is.
But you know, it's not my thing. I'm more warbirds and, you know, jets.
Well, you said the magic words. I'm glad you said warbirds because we're going to talk about the brand new Skynetic TBM Avenger VT84 that came out from Motion RC. I'm going to share this little screen right here with you guys. and we can take a look at this little.
Dude, that was the fastest transition I've ever seen.
You see how quick I did that? Because I feel like all we do is talk about F-22s on here. I'm like, man, and look, I own like 7
I'm
of
just
them,
saying
and I'm just tired of them.
That was like you
Dude.
didn't even California stop that thing.
Nah,
you just
man, we had the North Carolina boogie on it. So
Oh
check
my
this out, guys.
gosh.
Look, this is the VT-84 with retracts, 33.4-inch wingspan, so it's a little smaller guy. But needless to say, if they made this bigger, it would be absolutely amazing, I'm sure. But I wish it was a little bigger. But for $229, let's see exactly what you're getting. So you get some plastic retracts.
So I already asked Chris about that. I said, so if this does well, are you guys going to make a bigger one? And he said, absolutely. So
excellent, dude, because
hopefully it sells well.
That's a part of the market, man, that we definitely need.
It's neat that it has retracts. Being in that size is kind of cool.
It is a plus, I'll say. If it has a rear retract back here, I think that's a win. So we're going to try to find it. Doesn't? Oh, okay.
You go fly?
Yeah. I wish somebody would make that in a kit. That would be.
I mean, 33 inches, that's like for TBM, which has a really big wingspan, that's a really small model. So
yeah,
that's just a fraction
well,
over.
It's all of those 800 millimeter series. So FMS had those ones for such a long time.
Yeah, similar size.
Yeah.
Oh,
very
you're
similar.
right.
That has me more interested than the Raptor.
Oh, for sure, sure.
That's cool.
And it, like I said, it is
and
really
different.
cool.
You know,
and
different. There you go.
That's the biggest thing. Anytime something cool and different comes to the market, I'm 110% behind it.
It's a Grumman, so you know it's going to fly good.
Absolutely. I mean, look at that.
And Chris Luke is involved with it, so you know it's going to fly good and look good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It almost has a wing similar to a Stuka, almost a little bit there.
The big wing. They call them turkeys for a reason.
Man, how about that? That's amazing. That is very good. So it's designed around a 3S800 to a 1200 milliamp, 3 cells, so you can get those lipos nice and cheap, and all the way up to a 2000. So that's not terrible. That's actually pretty good. So 5 channels. Let's see. It's 30 inches, 30.1 inches long. Okay,
that's kind of surprising,
pretty nice.
Actually.
Yeah, it is, and it's got a 3-bladed prop on there.
The wingspan was much bigger length. But.
Very nice. It looks like you have to glue the rudder on, is what I'm seeing. Foam and heavy-duty CA for the rudder. So it'll take off for us glass flyers, well manicured short glass, or hard surfaces. I can't talk. I said glass. So there we go. And let's see. Let's take a little quick video of it real quick, shall we? Let's take a look. Boom. Little. Oh no! We can't do the music. Oh yeah. All right. Let's take this thing.
Wow, the thing is tiny.
Yeah, it is tiny.
It's like a UMX almost with retracts.
That's what I
purchase. We're going to get it out of the box and get this thing set up today. If you're interested, there are flight videos and more reviews already for purchase. We're going to get it out of the box and get this thing set up today. If you're interested, there are flight videos and more reviews already out of it. And this is the first model in this size and classification to feature working retractable landing gear right out of the box.
Good job. Good job. Giving the people what they want. All right. Now,
go off. And I usually don't use accelerator on it.
See more of it flying.
Right here on page 6, we always want to make sure we do that before we go out and fly. But this gets everything pretty much set up on the little TBM Avenger, and I am so excited to see this aircraft finally hitting the market here at Motion
really
RC.
Nice of them
Since Chris has come to work here, he's been saying, you know, Wes, what's your favorite airplane? What do you want to see built? And I've been screaming an Avenger for years. So I'm very excited to see this aircraft come out. I hope guys really enjoy it.
Let's watch it land.
There's never been anything, and this new smaller aircraft with retracts, there's never been anything wrong with these small airplanes, guys. You know, some of the most fun I've had in RC is with some of these smaller planes, and now that we have the retracts in them, that's all that was ever missing in these small birds. And as always, whether it's air, land, or sea, you can get it right here at Motion RC. I've been Wes.
All right, there we go. Cool.
Makes for a cool display model.
I was getting ready to say, that is pretty neat, man. So let me jump into the comments and see what you guys think. You guys over there, what do you think? Let's see, even better, 80-inch wood version. I agree.
Yeah, would love to see a wood version.
For sure.
Let's see. Let's play the drinking game. Each time he says out of the box we drink, oh my God, we would have been drunk about 10 out of the boxes ago. Let's see here. Everybody wants an 80-inch version. All right. Love the Warbird. Let's see. MH53 Pavlo 2, he says, very cool to see micro retracts. Might try to retrofit the custom tail retract with some Robarts and some 3D printed parts. That's cool. It needs a scale George Bush Sr. Absolutely. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard lately.
I feel like for the money, I'd probably go with like one of the twin 40mm EDF options, but
oh yeah,
it is neat to see something different and with retracts. So I can see where the number comes from. It's just it's much actually. When I saw the pictures, I thought it was bigger than it was, but
absolutely.
In the video, a little smaller.
Something in the 55 to 60 inch range would have been really, really sweet. But maybe they'll get there eventually after they see how this one sells. So,
yep. Definitely cool to see something like that, come to market, because I love stuff that is completely different that we don't get to see a lot of. That's different. And so, just so y'all know, Banana Hobby has some cool stuff coming out like that too. You just gotta be patient on it. So, let's see here.
Giving out hints.
He wants to, he's got something cool coming out. I'm sure.
Gotta get the people going.
He's gonna get a phone call from Kerry here in a minute.
Oh, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I'm just saying they got some cool stuff. Hey, now look. Now there was a creeper that came out, and I want everybody to hold what they say. Hold judgment just real quick. It just enjoy it for what it is, all right? Enjoy it for what it is. So, here we go. We're going to move on to the next one. Don't pass judgment. Here we go. Dynam has an E-2C Hawkeye 1500mm twin engine with 360 counter rotating dome.
That is actually really, really cool.
How cool is that, guys? Look at that.
I wish Dynam had their quality. Well, and maybe they're getting better, but back in the day, their quality wasn't the greatest, and they've had some really neat models. They had that P-61 Black Widow, which is one of my favorite twin-engine airplanes, and I had one. It flew amazing, but the quality was just kind of like,
man, the foam was bent weird.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing.
I mean, look at this one right here. And like I said,
it is neat. That's a super different airplane. I mean, that's a really unmodeled airplane.
Yes. Like I said, I enjoy things that are different. My job is to show you guys things that are different out there.
Price is high enough that I hope the quality's better.
I mean, look at the gear. The retracts
$420 for it.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty pricey.
What's the wingspan on that? Oh, 1,500.
How much is that?
$419.
Oh, that's pretty big.
And look, if you want one with, I don't know what the ice.
Yeah, gear doors.
That's the size the Avenger should have been.
Oh, you get a P&P version with what?
With the Ice Stone V3. I'm not sure what that is.
There's Bind and Fly. What's Bind and Fly?
Let's see here. Bind and Fly, you can have it for $465.
Yeah, no thanks. I'll round receiver.
And we're looking up close at the the same. I was thinking the same thing. We're over here looking at the retracts. It is cool.
Overall, the outline's pretty good. So
it looks good, right?
It's a nice looking, version of a Hawkeye. So it's pretty neat.
The funny thing is like when I saw it when it came out, I was like, okay, all right, that's different, okay, and
I wonder how it flies with that radome on it. It's interesting.
That's when I saw it.
I bet it flies just fine.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean,
I'm a radome flyer here.
I wonder how it handles the wind though with that thing. On
we get to see those. Those coming. What's that?
Sorry, I said radomes don't affect anything really.
Well,
just an extra wing. It's like a biplane.
Yeah. So check it out. It's got a 3-piece wing, ball link control, dual flaps.
Does it rotate?
Yeah, it rotates. 360.
Does it really?
Rotating. Yeah, it rotates.
Wow.
Absolutely.
360 degree rotating radar.
That's interesting.
Got 770 kV brushless motors, twin 40 ESCs.
Got too many airplanes, Jeremy.
Tons of thrust right there.
It can go next to my AWACS, my E7 wedge tail.
So you're talking about almost a 60-inch wingspan, so it's of good size.
That's a nice size.
And it's 43 inches long. Yeah.
We get to see those come in and do touch and goes where I work pretty regularly, so it's kind of neat.
Dude, that's amazing. I think that's
all right. So the first person in this group to get one, let us know how it is.
Well, look,
Let us know how it goes, Jeremy.
Video. Y'all ready?
That's not how it goes.
yeah.
Not gonna be me.
That's not how it works. All right, here we go. Let's check out this little video real
Crap!
quick.
I just ordered it.
Tell Carrie.
Yeah, we're gonna tell Carrie on you, just so you know. He's
No,
like,
I mean it's different. That's the thing.
It needs a 6 blade burn. That'd be kind of cool.
If it's cool and it's different, I mean, and anybody from anywhere or any company is going to buy it because it's cool, right?
That was the video.
Could use a better job, but I mean,
they had the DCC's names upside down on the doors. I don't know if you guys saw that. That made me laugh.
Let me see here. So what exactly? So it comes in plug and play, Bonify. Then it has SPNP with the iStone V3. That is, what is that? Okay,
it probably
that's a
comes with a transmitter.
System. So the iStone all 3 V3
gyro,
system. Yeah, with vector runway correction. So I guess that's what they call nose gear.
Steerable
nose gear on the gyro. And then there's one that comes with the S ready to fly version. Comes with the plug and play kit. The drum, servos, and an 8-channel gyro. Okay. All right. So there you have it, man.
Yeah, that's stepping way outside the box.
Dude, it is. I mean, good job for Dynam for doing that. And, they added all the extra details.
Yeah,
like I said, a lot of us
Crazy.
have bad taste in our mouth when you hear the word Dynam, but maybe this is their come up. Like, maybe they've learned that it doesn't pay to be cheap sometimes.
From here, it looks pretty good.
I was thinking so, too. I thought that was a pretty neat looking airplane, man. So,
well, Jeremy's got one on orders now, so we'll know in a couple of days.
Yeah, he's literally buying it as we speak. And that was the Dynam E-2C Hawkeye. I'll be honest, I haven't even heard of the E-2C Hawkeye.
Kyler's the one that ordered it.
Oh,
okay,
Kyler,
sure he did.
Yeah.
Sure
That's
he
what I
did.
would say too.
With your credit card, right?
Oh my gosh, let's jump.
Better not be.
To the comments. No 27 says no lights. Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. Mike Drum RC says, I heard that their foam is better now, which it should be because everybody's foam is pretty much better now, right?
It wasn't necessarily the foam that was a big issue on there. It was the landing gear.
Yeah, the landing gear.
The servos were horrible too.
The landing gear,
yeah.
The landing gear, if it got anywhere cold at all, like they just would not work at all.
And then
that was never a good idea. So
GW,
I had all kinds of stuff. The B-20 or the B-26 or was it A-26?
Yeah, as a B-26.
That was such a cool looking airplane.
Yeah.
And that dang landing gear was the end of that thing.
Stolt, look what he said. Omaha said Stolt flushes turds. He says he doesn't order them. That's funny. He's like quality over quantity, dude. Let's see here.
Somebody around me will probably order it.
Oh, of course.
And then we'll be able to see how it is, And like I said, it looks great. Hopefully it's better than what it's, what they're used to. Maybe they can, get out of the hole that they were in regards to that stuff and keep making better stuff. But
let's hope so.
But we'll find out, right? We'll see. So whoever gets it, report back. Let us know.
That is the first plane from Dynam I've seen with struts. Let's see. Gaga Bonhar says, now you've done it, Jeremy, we'll have to buy it. So that's funny. Air Sally says they should have made a 1700 millimeter one. I agree, a little bigger's not bad.
There is a lot that goes into the size determination of airplanes. The biggest thing is whether or not you guys are buying airplanes in that size. If you're not buying planes in those sizes that are already out there, then they're not going to make planes because they think that you don't have demand. So if you guys want big airplanes, buy the big airplanes, and that'll get essentially the information out there that you want big airplanes. So
there you have it. That makes sense. That's how that works. You want bigger, got to buy bigger. So, all right, man, that's actually pretty cool, dude. That was a quick little smash and grab of info of airplanes that came out, man. That was pretty cool. Let's see here. I'm jumping to the comments, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Let's see. William Lane says, I'd like to see a good A7 Corsair. Yeah, I would too.
That would be awesome.
I don't know why no one's made that yet, for sure.
Or an FA Crusader, which is one that I like.
Yeah. Man, oh man. All right. Let's jump into
blast
some comments.
gunfighters, they call those.
Yep.
The A7?
No,
The F8 Crusader.
the Crusader.
Yeah, you gotta make me look.
They look very similar.
Yep.
One looks like a stretch limousine.
Oh yeah.
Like the J20 looks like a stretch limousine Raptor.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Man, that's pretty cool looking. All right. Let's see here. Moving right along. And let's see here. I wanted to show you guys something that I saw. Hey, I try to be equal opportunity over here, but I thought it was cool. Got to show you one more. And this one is from HSD Jets. I just thought it was cool. It looks very familiar to one I saw from Banana Hobby. But take a look at this right here, and this is their plug-and-play version of their F-16, and that one is the, it looks like that. Now, didn't y'all come out with one similar to that? That looks pretty cool.
Is that their foam one?
Yeah, that's their foam one.
That's the foam one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Looks pretty good.
It's good from here.
Yeah.
It'll look
And this
good
one,
for about an hour inside the sun.
But this one is
Yeah.
still not rated for. Yeah, you're actually right about that, Jeremy. To think about it, especially with
It's a
that
black foam airplane, man.
Yeah, the black.
Yeah, talking about black, how did your Brent, your what was it that you painted all black? Oh God, your why can't I think of the name of that foam jet you bought? Is that thing filled up? Yes, the SR-71. Thank you. Has that thing?
And this
It
one's
does
not
better
super-
than I thought it would, honestly. I mean, I don't purposely leave it in the sun, but I've had it out on some pretty warm days. I mean, when we went to St. George last year, it was in the 90s, and you know, I'd pull it out and then wait for my buddy Justin to bring his out. So I'd be sitting in the sun for a few minutes. I never had any problems with the popcorning. So, so far, I mean, as long as you're not careless about it and don't just leave it in the sun all day long, it's probably going to be okay. But I think that that the foam that they used on those HSD jets is a little more dense and doesn't popcorn as easily as
It's
some of the
very
lighter
dense.
foams. But
Yeah.
It's a little. So even the same with the AF models, right? It is compressed foam pretty good, but again, even like a cockpit in the inside, right? They will alligator like a mother. So they're a little bit more resilient, but if you leave it out in the sun in any way, shape, or form, you're gonna. I would expect to see alligatoring and stuff. So at some point, so.
For sure. And that's the thing, when you get these airplanes, the black color, like I actually used a infrared heat gun on it, and it was like a difference of almost 40 degrees, man, between just the black and the gray. I was surprised. So
Well, that's just like my
something to think
B2.
about.
My B2, man, even though it's gray, she gets hot.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, so
Yeah, dude. That thing starts to getting up there and cooking. Let me see here. But I do like the livery of it. Looks pretty good. But again, that model, the F-16s are not grass rated. So if you guys are flying off of grass, that little front wheel is literally like the size of a quarter, and that's not going to handle. Now I've seen where people have flown it off of grass quite a bit. But yeah. So let's see here. Jumping into the comments. Let's see. +1, 2 on the Vision Jet. So everybody wants to see a Cirrus Vision Jet, man. That would be a cool one to see too. That would be a neat one, actually. I think Tyler Perry has one being built if he doesn't already have one in his massive hangar. So
I think he's already got one.
I was going to say I thought he did, if I wasn't mistaken. So all right, let's jump into some questions for you guys. Let's talk about some stuff. Let's see here. We're going to jump into
How often do
Right
you
there.
pop bolts?
my HSD Belgian AF EDF has already started to alligator.
Let's see. Well, that's who said that?
It says right there, William.
William Lane.
Oh, yeah. My just the EDF has already. Yeah. Yep. My
Dark colors on foam are so hard to
yeah.
accept. So
I could see that happening. I am not surprised. Let's talk about some cool stuff, dude. Let's see. RC EDF VTOLs, man. Let's see. The rise of abducted fan EDF vertical takeoff and landing planes. What do you guys think about some of those? Have y'all seen those with like the VTOL planes? What are your thoughts on VTOL?
it's not going to last long.
Mm,
It's overly complicated for the majority of the people in the hobby.
Okay, even if they make the systems where, let's say, it automatically hit a button and it takes off and it rotates and things like that.
People are still going to do dumb. They're going to dumb thumb anything.
Yeah, I agree. Bert, what do you think
I
about
want
that,
my money back.
Yeah.
It didn't fly.
Okay, so we have been down this road. We had an Osprey for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Still sell it. I tell everybody when they ask me what my thoughts are on it, I say it's the hardest aircraft to fly. Why? Because it takes one mistake and the thing's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's really no forgiving option in a heli plane.
Yeah, I crashed my E-Flight Osprey a couple of times.
Yeah, so, I could get that thing. I could get that thing to spin like a rolling pigeon.
Both times in the transition is when I crashed it. So
mine was hard G turns.
Yeah, that's funny.
It was really cool until it wasn't, but it was neat for sure.
Yeah, I learned a lot on that in regards to like if you're thinking about doing VTOL, for instance, it would be like an F-35B, right? That we're talking about, or is it C? Which one's B?
That B.
Everybody wants a B version F-35, but there is so much that would have to go into that thing.
But do you
the dollar value that everybody would want, or that would have to be to do that, it would be unacceptable. So
it's not for the everyday kind of guy for sure.
I was going to say you got to want something like that.
I mean, everybody wants it, but are we at that?
Yeah.
With just the general community of pilots, you know.
I've seen a lot of the FPV airplanes. They have the VTOL feature, and like I said, I guess, that's one thing, but I don't see it going mainstream, like, everything else is. So that was one topic that I wanted to cover. And we could talk about that, and then let's talk about this. What is the worst RC airplane purchase ever? Brett, what's one of the worst ones that you've ever made? Then we're going to go to Jeremy. Then we're going to go to Tim. And let's see. We have to think, and you guys in the comments, I'm jumping in there too. I expect y'all to key up. Let's see here. Worst RC airplane purchase ever. I'm going to think.
I tend to do a decent amount of research before I just press the button. So I typically know if something's not great before I would buy it. So I don't have too many of those.
I'll go ahead and tell you mine then.
Does free count as purchase?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one that has been in your clutch. I'll go ahead and say it. I'll tell you mine, and you'll be like, yeah, okay. The very first version of the Draco, dude. It was like, it looked great.
That was a big letdown. Big letdown.
I was massively let down. It looked good. I spent like almost, what was it, like $600?
Dude,
I got it, and it was a brick.
We were sneaking into the hobby store late at night with one of the workers to get our Dracos early enough.
Yep.
That we could be like, ooh, it was so cool. And man, that was such a letdown.
Dude, it was a massive letdown. I was like, what?
But it's not the worst one I've seen.
Yeah, it's the worst one I've had. But what do you guys say? What say you, Tim?
Well, the Draco was up there because I had one, but I also made the mistake of buying one of those Skynetic Bisons.
That was what I was going to say. You stole mine.
That's my runner-up.
Dude, that thing was a piece of you-know-what.
Yes.
I mean, it made the Draco look good. It made the Draco look good.
At least the Draco looked good sitting down.
I got to fly one of those Freedom Foxes. That was that YouTuber. He had a Kit Fox that
red, white, and blue one.
Yeah, and that thing flew terrible. I didn't buy it.
That was because the CG they said on it was.
I didn't care for it at all.
Completely wrong.
Jeez. Omaha said, "Hey, I love my Draco." You must have got maybe like one of the best flying Dracos, I guess. I don't know.
Now I got to rethink of mine. But anyway, the Bison, I can't go too much into it. That was the worst airplane ever.
We've actually talked about it, Jeremy, at one point.
That was the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dude, I'm trying to think. Like,
oh, look. Savage Bobber. Dude, that's interesting because I like the way the Savage Bobber looks. Challenging flight dynamics. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't either. I wonder if it's what makes it so challenging.
Look it up. What is the Savage Bobber? I don't know.
Oh, you've never seen it?
It doesn't have. It's just a frame fuselage with me.
Dude, I like it. I like it.
They look cool, but man, I've heard they're just a nightmare to fly.
That's another one, another good one, Mountain RC. The SR-71, the E-Flight one, the little one.
I liked mine.
You souped yours up somehow.
He soups everything up. There's nothing.
I mean, he had to
flies a GB and puts a gas motor in it, and I'm like, what the heck is he doing?
Yeah, he said somehow, like he didn't know how it happened. Let's see here. All right, let me.
I like my little SR-71. I mean, you had to appreciate it for what it was.
I'll show you this Savage Bobber
very
real quick.
small SR-71.
I couldn't land that thing for the life of me without it landing on its ass.
Yeah, it did do that to me once or twice when I got it too slow, but
I just could not. It would just go whoop and then whoop every single time. I think I had maybe one or two landings that weren't.
It did land fast. I mean, it's a very small, essentially a flying display model, but difficult subject. So I don't know. I guess I just appreciate.
What other airplanes did we have that were just god awful planes?
Hey, Jeremy, here is the one I'm talking about, the Salvage Bobber right here. This is what it looks like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness, that is way interesting looking.
I like it though.
I think it's cool looking.
It's got bison gear.
Yeah, and it's a real airplane. You know, it's a full scale airplane. It's just a STOL kind of airplane there. Pretty neat looking though. I like it. But apparently it's a handful to fly for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like the frame airplanes. You know what I really like? I wish they I think it was I can't tell who made it, but there was a pusher prop plane that had you know, it was like an ultralight, but it had like a pusher on there. Something like a Challenger 2 is what it was, and man, that was pretty neat. I wish they would come out with something like that. I like stuff like that, but most people probably wouldn't like that. But that's it. Kind of like a Cub-ish looking airplane. Cub-esque. So let's see here. All right. Did everybody say which one they didn't like? Let's see here. The SR-71 had to be in full throttle the entire time. I agree.
I mean, you got to look at what it is. It's a very tiny SR-71. That's not an easy subject. So for being so small, I don't want to sound like I'm
the what
hobbies rep, but but I mean, you kind of have to appreciate it for what it is. It's a very small SR-71. It's Delta typically don't fly that great when the wing loading's higher, and being such a small model, it's kind of like, yeah, you got to fly it wide open the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I still enjoyed mine because I thought it was cool for what it was. It definitely didn't fly great with the gear on. It was very draggy with the gear. You pretty much had to fly with the gear off no matter what. But I really enjoyed mine.
William Lane said, for me, was buying the Freewing F-14 as plug and play and not as an RF. Stock power system was junk. Wow.
Yeah, the original F-14 was pretty underpowered.
Yeah.
You could still fly pretty well.
Yeah, but it was the biggest, baddest Tomcat out there at its time.
Oh, yeah, and still is. I mean,
it was still a really cool model when it came out. I mean, that made a huge impression on me.
They're still on first version. They haven't come out with a version 2 of that thing yet, have they?
They came out the smaller, the 64, which is, you know, a great version. But
man, I don't know. What was the worst? Nothing really tops that one.
Yeah, like I said, I tend to do my research before I buy stuff to the point where I know if I really want it or I don't. But I really haven't had too many airplanes where I've bought it and just been like super. I guess I will say the one airplane I was really disappointed in, not in the way it flew, but the Freewing Cougar was like, I was expecting to be much bigger than it was for whatever. I think their dimensions like included like the nose probe or something like that.
Yeah.
So when it showed up and I opened the box, I was like, what the heck is this? It's freaking tiny. I was like super disappointed. I mean, it flew amazing. I did a bunch of mods to it and I enjoyed it, but I was still kind of like, I paid that much for this? That's crazy. But
by the way, we got 61 people in the room. I saw 63 earlier. Guys, make sure y'all give us a thumbs up so we can rock the algorithm, man. This thing is growing. It's great. Let's switch the topic. We're going to talk about latency, dude. A lot of people don't understand latency. So, you guys over here, latency. Can anyone actually feel the difference in millisecond latency? Or is it all marketing? Let's talk about it. Let's go. What do y'all think? Nobody rush to the question.
You can't really tell unless you're using it for FPV.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about that?
I mean, I used to fly Airtronics, and I flew Airtronics for quite a number of years, and I thought the radios were pretty decent, but like I know when I went to the IX-20 that I definitely felt a little bit of pickup in speed, like just a small difference in connection to where I felt like it was a much faster response than what I was used to.
Right.
But I mean, you're talking about stuff that's so minute. If you're not flying like somewhat competitively, you'll probably never notice that, or in like FPV or something like that. But even then, you have to account for the loss in timing with the goggles too. So it's not perfect world comparison, but I think radios have kind of gotten to a point where they're essentially at the same speed now, roughly, to where you probably couldn't tell the difference between radio brands.
That's right.
I just feel like most of the radios nowadays are pretty fast. So
I agree.
Now, a lot of that has to do with servo speed too. So if your servos are really slow, that's not going to help. But.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so tough to identify whether or not you actually have a latency issue or whether you've got something going on with your aircraft or anything like that. So it all kind of meshes together.
Well, while we're talking about latency and radios, let's talk about some of this stuff right here. Let's talk about open source versus proprietary radio systems, right? Many pilots are moving away from locked ecosystems like Spectrum and Futaba towards open source options like Edge TX and Express LRS, or the ELRS systems. Man, what do y'all think about that, dude? I'm still good with Spectrum. I loved my Futaba radio. It never failed me. I've never had any issues with Spectrum whatsoever. So for me, I don't see the reason for me to move. But also, my area where we fly is in the middle of nowhere. We don't have towers, no interference or anything like that. But some people like the freedom of open source. So what's your take on there? And guys in the comments, I'm going to be keying up with you guys too as well. I'll be tracking that.
From a perspective of customer service, the people that don't use Spectrum have a lot harder time in setting up their airplanes.
I've seen that.
A lot of questions on how to do this and how to do that, and they don't know their radios. And so I think that it's nice to have open source if you know what you're doing, if you know how to handle all the stuff, you know how to get into all your menus and set your graphs and your curves and set all that stuff up between all the radios on there. Great. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's not benefiting you. You know what I mean? But a lot of people, they talk about the reason they changed is for signal. But no, Omaha, it's not that. This is a lot of customers.
Yeah.
Just a simple, when I say, hey, do a flight mode, and they have no idea what a flight mode even is or how to do it on their radio. Because
gonna get a bunch of hate here shortly. You're gonna get hate now.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying though, there is a definite noticeability between the people that use Spectrum and set up an airplane from scratch versus somebody that uses FR Sky and other transmitters. What is it? The Radio Master.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking bad about them. I'm just saying though, they're a lot harder to set up a basic airplane or a basic aircraft than just jumping through a Spectrum.
It's true. I'm living proof of that, dude. I told you, y'all heard the story. I had the FR Sky radio. What is it? The 18 channel one. I had the thing for 3 months straight, and I was able to put it to sit down and watch a YouTube video and get 2 airplanes on it. And then I set it down for a week and walked away and came back and completely lost everything. And I was like, that's it. I'm going back to Spectrum because it's easier. But Tim, what do you think, man? I know you're a Spectrum guy and you know the system very well. And I know you've had some experiences recently dealing with that. What do you think there? What's your input?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to kind of tag along what Jeremy just said. I mean, the nice thing about the Spectrum is user friendliness. It's just one of those systems that, there's tons of videos out there. I've got one friend that did the same thing you did. He went to FR Sky, and it was probably a year of him screwing with that thing before he ever really started to know the system. And once he learned it, it's an incredible system. I'm not going to take anything away from it. But I'm so far into in it now with the Spectrum, I can't go any, I'm not going to spend the money to change to a different and learn a new system. I'm able to pick up the phone. I'm able to contact my guy at Horizon if I got an issue with a radio or don't understand something with a Spectrum radio. So, in FR Sky, there was, he was very upset because he was having a hard time getting a hold of anybody.
Yeah.
They would do updates, and all of a sudden what that update was supposed to do didn't do what it was supposed to do, or it interfered with something else and had a lot of glitches or bugs, whatever you want to call it. So there's something to be said for for Spectrum, because we don't really have many bugs. If we have any, it's very small.
Yeah.
The R&D on that is, and I just don't know about these other radio companies like FR Sky. Fataba's out there. Fataba's a great radio. We had at our old field, we had 3 cell towers. Guys were losing planes left and right at our field that had Fataba. They were the only ones. But, I've heard rumors or people say that they've been at a field and everybody had problems with Spectrum, whatever.
Absolutely. Jeremy, are you awake? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing some
it looked like you were
doing
sleeping.
some customer feedback.
Absolutely. Hey, I gotta say, Tim, you're dead on, man. You're 110% dead on. BD Tennessee said it best. Open source gives more flexibility in the price for the performance. It does have a larger learning curve, less field support, than Spectrum, but it is a good balance, and it is a good middle ground for both. Spectrum is more fill the blank. Never had an issue with Spectrum personally, but it's nowhere close to ELRS or Tandem. So, yeah, I agree. And BD's like one of the guys, like when I run into some issues with my radio, I'll call him up, and he'll help me out. So, lots of, and he's a good balance between all the radio systems too. So, it's pretty good. So, Don Henry says, Jeremy, people who don't know just don't know. He says, you have the same questions in all the radio forums. That is true. I've seen that too. And lots of people have been flying Spectrum with no problems. So, like I said, I'm a Futaba guy, man. I was a Futaba guy. I moved over to Spectrum, and my transition's been great. I've had no problem. Don Henry says, let's see, the biggest advantage of open source is that you can contact and have a developer and have a system mods done too. That is cool. Let's see, all the Turbine and Big EDF guys switched to FR Sky at our field. We now teach new users. That's great, P51 fan. That is good. That's a benefit of your field right there. So, and the redundancy in the signal is a big draw. So let's see here.
Yeah, and it also comes down to what is everybody flying at your field? Like you just said, everybody switched to FR Sky. Well, now you got a community of guys that can talk to each other.
Bingo.
And I know that someone, Winston Brown said, FR Sky. Hey, I'm just saying at the beginning when he first got the radio, he had a hard time. I'm not saying their customer service is terrible, but that's not what I'm saying. He just had a harder time getting the answers that he needed. And he was the only FR Sky at our field. So he didn't get that help from the community, I guess, the hobby community in the area. So, our field is mostly Spectrum. There are some Futaba guys. There's 1 or 2 Jetty guys. But, that's all I'm saying.
I don't understand the Jetty radios, man. Those things are like a VCR. And then they have it on that little box. And I'm like, man, you got the whole body rig right there.
Jetty's a whole nother game, too,
Dude,
So.
It's my old VCR strapped to your loins, dude. I'm like, what is this? And then they're pinching the sticks, so I'm further turned off. I'm like, man, I don't want to see that, But they're all they're all snapped in and everything like that. It's like, I'm like, what's That radio looks heavy. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. All right, let's move on. Let's have a debate. Let's debate. Is it irresponsible to fly high-speed EDFs? Let's say like a EDF jet or something like that at a local school field where other people are playing and stuff like that. Let's talk about it. What do y'all think? Is that irresponsible, man? I have questions.
I mean, yes and no. I mean,
Does
depends.
anybody actually do that?
But
I think that we're all at that point where we wouldn't do that.
Well,
Yeah.
we wouldn't, but like average Joe doesn't know any better. He just got his airplane. He wants to go out there and fly, and he may not know. It's still a free country. He can do what he wants, but
it's not the best
we're talking
idea.
about. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, if you hurt somebody,
We've all seen videos of that guy flying on the beach and stuff with jets and stuff like that, and people walking around. It's like, ew, come on, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I
right.
mean, accidents happen anywhere. I mean, look at that guy that was flying that P-38 and ran into the side of that guy's head.
Oh yeah,
You remember that?
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it can happen in an airfield, so why take the risk of doing it out there, especially with something that's
Well, the thing that the comment down here says if it's empty, that you just got rid of. So if it's
Yeah.
empty, go right ahead, have fun. Just make sure you have your transmitter on.
There was a second
You're
part, but I
required
couldn't go
for that.
back and find it. It said if it's empty, then I understand that. He says, but if there's kids out there playing, is
That's a
that
different
wise? Because that's what people do. You'll go to the park, and people are out there flying these high-speed jets out there.
and it doesn't even need to be a high-speed jet. It can be a timber. I mean, you got a prop on it. Now you hit somebody with a prop. So
Absolutely. What's going on there, RC Will? RC
Are you?
Pilot Will, what
Was
you
that
doing?
comment because of Will?
What?
It was. Will is one of those
Is
guys
that
that
is
flies
that
out
where
the
he was
park.
at? With
Did you see how I segued into that? You see what I did with that? I just brought him in here right there.
Wow, that's crazy.
I will.
Will
What's
like,
up,
I didn't have
guys?
to be here. This is what happens. No, I said the debate is it irresponsible to fly a high-speed EDF like a Habu or Viper at a local school field or a park where it's populated, where people are out there. Like, Will, what's your take on that, dude? Because you've flown at places like that.
Yeah, I have. I just think that, well, you gotta use your best judgment on it. If you get out there and you see that, huh?
I started laughing.
Just keep
Matt
going.
Mercy said, "Will be flying at the park with his turban."
No, I won't do it with a turbine. But I'll take a 90 millimeter EDF out, and
Yeah.
I mean, but the only thing is you got to know that it's not busy out there. Like if you got like
Yeah.
maybe 6 people at a huge park that's pretty far spread out, they're 9 times out of 10 just walking around or something. So not a big deal.
Yeah.
But if you go out there and you see that there's people playing up, like we have a soccer field out there. It's basically a bunch of soccer fields. And if you see somebody's out there and they got a soccer game going on out in the middle of it, it's not a good idea to fly.
Bad idea,
But if the
right?
field area is clear, then yeah, go for it. As long as you know what you're doing. Like if you're scared, don't do it.
Will flies into the goals. Goal.
I fly what?
Score!
Goal.
I've done that with
Man, oh,
soccer
man.
field polls.
Come on, man.
Will, it was nice to
It was
have
with a
you,
UMX.
to join us, man. Will, what you been up to, dude? I know you had some family stuff happening, and then you popped in. So, what's new in your neck of the woods before we smoke out of here?
Man, I'm just ready to get this meeting over with. We've been having this wind that we couldn't, and weather that we couldn't get out there and get flying. But other than that, I was watching the show with you guys as I was on the way home, so I just didn't jump in because I was on the road. But
He
other than
saw you
that,
talking crap, Bobby.
He did,
Say
didn't
what?
he? And that's when he
oh
came
yeah,
in.
yeah, I
He
heard
saw
all the
you
crap that
talking
was being
crap.
talked.
Man, hey, I would
What are
never
you talking about? We didn't even say
about you.
anything.
You got
Your name didn't even come up, Will.
Man, what are you talking about? It's all over the news.
Yeah, they said Will wasn't a talking point. What in the world? Nah. Hey, let's talk about this. While we got you, Will, let's talk about hanger management, the inevitable hanger rash. How do we mitigate hanger rash? Look, I'll tell you what I do. I just accept it. I'm like, you know what? This
Yeah,
thing's gonna get banged up more for me.
It is what it
picking
is.
up. My fingernails damaged the thing for crying out loud. So I'm
Yeah,
like, you know
just
what?
picking it
Whatever.
up and handling it, even at the field, is going to damage it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you put it up in the air and you're flying it at 50, 60 miles per hour, and there's gigantic bugs up there along with you, they're going to be tearing the darn thing up too. So,
well,
I mean, look at what they do when they hit your windshield on your car when you're going 60 miles an hour. What do you think they're doing to your plane?
Tim and Jeremy and Brett saying, well, if you buy composite airplanes, you don't have that problem. So you don't have that problem.
I don't know.
But I tell you, before we get out of here, dude, look, we've been going for an hour and 5 minutes. Jeremy, I wanted to talk to you. You had something pretty cool over there in the background. Let's talk about that little green thing right there. Let's go.
All right.
What is that?
I want to make sure you guys get a little shout out to the creator of this 3D printed tug, Tom Manzel. Pretty dang awesome. Let's look at this. We'll put this over here. Check this thing out, guys.
Look at that.
Wow. So it's the actual tug.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty awesome, huh?
Now, are you actually going to use it to drive your airplanes? We got to see a video with it.
Yeah, you got to do a video with that. We'll get
there. I need to still make the actual tow bar for it. Awesome. We had a smaller version that we took to Kentucky. It did a fantastic job there, but eventually the gears and all that started going out, and it was dying. So the Tugamus Prime here is.
So what's your rate? You're going to pull, Jeremy? 60 pounds, 100 pounds?
It's going to be able to pull the A10. So.
Dang.
That's 60.
So when we go to Kentucky, it'll be nice to be able to pull the planes instead of walk the planes. So.
I mean, your typical RC car. I've done it, dude. I have a 6S Typhon, Armor Typhon. I pulled around a 2-ton jack with it. So
what?
Do you know the 2-ton jacks that they use in the automotive shops?
Yeah.
Yeah, I strapped it to a 2-ton jack and pulled it around the shop at my job. And that's a slick floor, so it doesn't have much traction. And it still pulled that thing around. So granted, it was on wheels, but it still pulled around that heavy jack. I could imagine it'll pull a turbine plane with no problem.
Oh yeah, so great. So yeah, we're gonna have a nice little tow bar on the back there. Pretty dang awesome.
I thought you were going to say a tug off.
We could have a tug off.
Oh my God!
I don't.
This show has definitely been going on for too long now.
We were good until Will came on here. I don't understand.
It was all
don't blame that on me.
Yeah.
that
was
was
all good.
Yeah. So there you go. There's the
okay. I'll accept that. You guys can blame that on me because I bring the energy to the channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, there's the top two. I mean, it's
cool.
Detailed like crazy, man. It's pretty awesome.
That is actually pretty cool.
You gonna put that in production and sell it to us?
Yes, exactly. We need production.
Pretty dang cool. There's the bottom.
Yeah, why not? Okay.
We need production, brother.
It's a
production.
Body.
There you go.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Well, before we slide out of here, I wanted to give a big shout out to RDRC having their Rodney Up Memorial swap meet. It's going down April 4th here in North Carolina. If you get a chance, go out there. That's normally where I go. I'll be out there the 4th for a couple of hours, man. It's a great swap meet. I enjoy it. As long as the weather's good, I'll be out there. So, yes, I will be out there. Will, you going to be able to make it or probably not?
I got to work this Saturday.
Understood. That's more airplanes for me. Good deal. So I will be out there getting airplanes that Will won't be getting.
Jacked up.
But he said that's jacked up. But no, I will absolutely be out there checking that one out. Winston Brown is the president of that group out there. And so definitely always appreciate it when you come in here, Winston. And thank you. So absolutely I'll be there. Hopefully I can try to twist Will's arm and get him out there. But other than that, guys, look, we have been pushing for an hour and almost 10 minutes. We had 63 people into the channel watching the live, dude, just growing like crazy. And I tell you, it's getting better and better every single time. So I really appreciate having you guys on the show. Heck Speed, glad to have you on here. Jeremy Stolt, glad to have you on here. Tim.
Did you say Stolt again?
Yeah, he did.
Stolt.
He did. No, he said Stoltz.
You better drink.
That was a
You better
Freudian
drink, buddy.
slip. It was a Freudian slip. I will probably always call you that. I subconsciously, I just say stolt. I'm so sorry. I'll go ahead and apologize in advance. I'll probably never be able to after a
funny
year
as
of saying
heck.
it wrong. But no, man, really appreciate you guys coming on here. And Brett, always good to have you on here, buddy. Really appreciate you. I was trying to pull in your airplane video that you kicked out, but I'm gonna have to put it on the next show because I couldn't move quick enough with everything. So stay tuned for that one because I need to get caught back up on the videos you've been dropping because they have just been good. I really enjoy them too. Just to put it out there, the shorts I really enjoy. So
I have to give you a little clap for that. The prop coming off that plane and you bringing it in, dude. That was.
You did it.
I mean, I texted you and said, man, that was luck. But I also meant to put there was a lot of skill behind that, too, because there's a lot of people who probably would have panicked and that thing would have been in a million splinters.
Absolutely.
And
that's
exactly
better.
what we talked about.
You know what?
Sorry.
Hey,
I'm trying to.
hey, you wouldn't have to worry about a crash being in a million splinters if you had foam. You just glue it back together.
That was your Bearcat.
Coming from an expert right there. That's an expert.
He's like, I should have said nothing. And you know what?
Hey,
Look,
no. Hey, I'm happy to say it.
Look, we've that's funny. Look, we've got it right up here. You know what? Let's watch it anyway. We got time.
If you
Let's
got
see
it up, get it going.
Look, emergency landing. This is Hickspeed's F8F Bearcat.
You got to show where the prop comes off though, because
let's see here.
I think it's just a few seconds behind that. No, it's not that far.
All right, let's see here. All right, here we go. Awesome.
I thought this was a 30-ton airplane with an 87-inch wingspan, so
Huge, 87-inch wingspan.
pretty heavy wing loading. That's a 28-inch prop, so big prop.
Did you find the prop?
That was what I was.
I haven't got to look for it yet. So.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Right when it's on their load. There it is.
There it goes.
Did y'all see it?
Oh.
Let's see if I can follow it.
It departs the plane.
Right there.
There it is.
Do you see right there? Prop airplane. Prop airplane. That's not
Man.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
So, I think the prop.
So many RPMs. That
Man must have been using a Cornwell torque wrench.
And look,
Sounded funny.
that's a heavy airplane, guys. That's not. You see how he's corkscrewing down, keeping
Tell you
airspeed,
what.
keeping the airplane flying.
I mean, you did get lucky that you had some altitude.
Yeah.
Good.
Sure.
Cool on the sticks, no freaking out. That's how you
Hey,
do
but
it.
the thing is no matter how much luck it is, we'll take it.
Damn right. Oh, there's skill involved.
That's skill in that. That wasn't luck there at all. That was all skill.
The luck
That was all
was
skill.
high.
Your plane was trying to become an EDF. It
That's
didn't
how
want
you
to
do
have
that,
that big
boys.
old
Yeah,
propeller.
that was pure skill on
That
that.
was happened to me. It would have happened like
Yeah.
10 feet off the ground, and then I've been
Yeah.
like,
The
Hey,
luck was
Brent.
definitely the location that it happened in.
that
Hey,
was the
Brent.
luck.
Man.
Next time, use a snap-on or Mac Tools torque wrench, okay?
So there's a little bit of a story behind that, and I feel like because it's been brought up a bazillion times in the comments. Well, was the prop tight? It came loose, and the prop bolts. There's always speculation, right? But I ran it's a brand new prop, and it's a carbon fiber prop, but it has a wood hub, and so a wood hub will compress the first time you tighten it, and then you need to make sure the bolts are tight again. And so I installed the prop at home, and I ran it at home. I ran it up, and I taxied it around. It was in one of my videos. I didn't touch the prop after that. And when I was driving to the field, I thought, I should probably check the prop just to make sure it's snugged up. And then we get to the field, and there was like 15 guys there we were on a limited time crunch because like I was home for the weekend. It was a very short weekend for me, so I didn't want to be at the field all day. And I'm like, great, now there's 15 plus people here, turbines everywhere. Like, you know, flying time is going to be super limited if I want to get a couple flights in. So we unloaded, we put the airplanes together. I rushed it out to the flight line to get it up in the air, and I forgot that I had thought I should tighten that prop. And it sounded a little funny when it was idling, when I was taxiing out, but I just kind of chalked it up to, you know, the engine's cold or whatever. It sounded a little clanky sounding, you know, and I was thinking it doesn't sound normal. So it was talking to me, but I wasn't listening, and I was in a hurry and everything else. So it's, you know, and so, but on that last pass, it doesn't show up on video, but I could hear it when I got into the throttle. It sounded a little odd when I first got into the throttle, and I went, something's a little off. And then when I pulled it into the climb, then it really sounded funny, and I was like, oh wow. That's when I came out of the power, and as soon as I came out of the power, the bolts broke and it came off. So, but I actually have a still frame of it. On the last pass, you can see about 3/8 of an inch of space in between the prop hub and the motor hub.
When you came out of that throttle, that's what put that torque in reverse, and it just said,
yeah, exactly.
Like, all right,
so
we're coming off.
But those motors have like a solid shaft on them that support the prop, keep it centered. So the prop was being centered, but the bolts were what were keeping it from coming off. So, anyways, long story short,
if it was a wood hub, and it definitely would have to squeeze that again.
So here's the thing: is that like I have 3 of these engines, and they all run the same kind of props. They're all in different airplanes, and I fly them all the time. And I've never really had one come loose before. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking not a huge deal. Like it's probably fine because they run very smooth. There's not a lot of vibrations, but I should have checked it, and I didn't. And I told myself to check it, and I forgot because I was in a rush. And so that's what happens sometimes when you get. I don't want to say complacent because I don't think I was being complacent, but I felt rushed, and that kept me from.
That happens to all of us, man. When we do that, we get rushed like that. Yeah, we make mistakes. So we make mistakes. We kind of. It's fine. And then we found out,
I got that ADHD brain for sure. So I definitely think of things and then they get replaced with other things very quickly. So if I don't do it right away, I tend to forget. But anyways, I was very lucky that it happened up high and not right in front of us or something like that, where it could have been very bad. So, but the thing, it's like an emergency situation. You never stop flying the airplane. And I know with a big heavy warbird, you got to keep the speed up, even if that means you're landing 100 yards away in the dirt. That's what that means. It doesn't mean stretch to the runway. It means land it where it'll land. And I knew I had to keep the nose down and wait on the landing gear and only use a little bit of flap. And so you have to kind of think about things like that while you're doing it. Like, hey, don't drop the gear yet, because those are big landing gear, a lot of drag. So if I were to throw those things out right away, I might not have made the runway. So just those little things like that can save your butt if you're paying attention to the airplane. And then also too, being at that vantage point of seeing just the nose of the airplane, it's very hard to see how fast it's going. But if you know how to pay attention to the attitude of the airplane, you can tell if it's getting close to stalling or not by the angle of tap. So I know that airplane pretty well now, and the last flight was also at dead sticks. So I'm relatively familiar with that airplane being in situations, but
it's a good skill to have, man.
If you know how to pay attention to the attitude of the plane, this is something that I taught my son. You have to watch the airplane, and you have to understand when too much angle is too much angle, and you have to know what it means when it's doing those things. So you have to pay attention to that kind of stuff, and that'll save your butt, because a lot of guys don't know how to read the airplane like that. And
they just figure, oh crap, I lost my prop or I lost power, and they just start freaking out.
Yeah, you have to stay calm and just fly the airplane.
At that point, you have a free plane, so just fly it.
Absolutely, dude.
It was P40.
The P40. Yeah, that would have been a nice little floater to come in. But that Bearcat, man, you did phenomenal with it, dude. So, well, look, guys, we're gonna slide on off of here. That was a phenomenal video to end on, dude. I was gonna say to land on, because that's what you did. But other than that, guys, look, this has been a great show. Like I said, we had 63 people in here watching the stream, so that was good. And Brett, you got anything to say in closing?
Check those prop bolts.
Yeah, guys, check your prop bolts. Don't forget to check out Hex Beats channel. Lots of good stuff on there, dude. Go ahead and like and subscribe to his channel. Go ahead and like and subscribe to Jeremy Stoltz's channel. Go ahead and like and subscribe to RC Pilot Will's channel. Tim's going to have a channel coming up here pretty soon. You better hurry up while you can. Probably not, but we don't know.
We're going to create one for Tim.
Yeah, we're just going to make one up.
He's not even going to moderate it. We're just going to say it's him.
Yeah, we're just going to say it's Tim's Adventures.
Hey, Tim. Tim, where's your field located? Like, what area?
Monroe, North Carolina.
Okay. How far is that from, I think it's Huntsville?
Huntersville? Probably 45 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to be in that area just about all day Sunday. Are you going to be flying Sunday?
It's supposed to rain.
It is? Crap. Okay. I'll bring a plane just in case it doesn't.
You ain't playing. Call me.
Gears turning.
Yeah. He's like, all right. Jeremy,
I want to come visit your field, man.
Yep.
I'm going to slide out.
All right.
All right. Jeremy, see y'all. Happy Easter, everyone.
Oh, what do I got?
Happy Easter, everybody. And remember, rabbits don't lay eggs.
Tell that to the Cadbury bunny, dude.
All right. The one thing I got is for those of you that purchased Raptors, again, we want to say thank you guys for that. Absolutely awesome how fast we sold out of those things on the first run. Second run is getting to that point also. So if you don't want to wait until 2027, get your order in.
All right, Tim, you got anything?
Just happy Easter, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your family, and if you can get out and fly.
Talk about buttered sausage.
All right, and Will, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, everybody have a good weekend. Rabbits don't lay eggs.
That's right. Rabbits don't lay eggs. All right, guys. Look, I certainly appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And again, make sure y'all have a good, happy Easter and everything like that with your family. And try to get out there and get some flying in if the weather permits. Other than that, we'll see you next Thursday. And we're going to go ahead and sign on out of this, guys. We certainly appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.